way we found out about Gravity Reset was through my wife. She attended the Resimax course you did there several years ago with Dr. Sherrick, and she saw you present some of the beginnings of GRM back then, and she saw it. And she's like, "Wow, this is really great. I would never want to do this, but I know my husband would probably really love this." So she introduced actually me to Gravity Reset, and I believe the first I watched module one virtually, and that's how I really got into it. And it's been a very pivotal and sort of paradigm opening concept for my office, because it's just something that in my brief neurological studies never really considered, right? What is the impact of gravity on us as a human being and on our patients as we're taking care of them? And those concepts to me have like really been a game changer in a lot of different ways. And even as you emphasized in the last conference here, was something to keep coming back to. You're like, man, if I'm really stuck with a patient, he's like, I step back and I just ask, what else can I do to influence how they perceive gravity? And I've clearly carried that concept forward with patients that I get stuck with. So for me, it's just been this pivotal thing of looking at really what are the biggest levers that we can use to change somebody's health, and sometimes in a very dramatic and a very fast way. And that's what Gravity Reset's really done for me. And it just has continued to, as you've evolved it and seen the changes of it, and we've played with it in the office as well, just seeing, okay, what else can we do to influence these really, really impactful parts of the nervous system? And this is where, again, Gravity Reset was another one of those really big pivotal pieces of like, oh, wow. Like once you do some of this stuff and you see these changes happen in real time with people, it's like, this is amazing. Yeah, two of the ones that honestly come to mind. One of them was a 15-year-old young man who came in with severe complaints of anxiety, sleep challenges, motion sickness, driving in the car, or riding in the car, I should say, and just overall, just energy because he wasn't sleeping, and did the assessment with him. And I think a couple of things that really impact people. One is I call it the chair turn test. So you're looking at velocity storage. That always trips people up because they feel like, all right, I'm stopped, and they feel like they're still moving. And if it goes beyond 10 seconds, everybody's like, all right, I don't know much about what's happening right now, but I know this isn't right. And they just continue to feel like they're drifting and moving. And that happened with him in front of his mom. Like he drifted 60 seconds one way and 60 seconds the other. I laid him on his back, and he had almost a complete like panic attack just doing that. So I'm like, okay, clearly there's some stuff going on with this guy, because he can't even lay on his back in a comfortable position without, almost having a total freak out. And started doing the calibrations with him. And we would turn like 5 degrees, and he's like, oh, I feel like I'm dizzy. Wait 30 plus seconds, turn another 5 degrees, wait 30 plus seconds. Just kept going. And it took me almost 30 minutes to do just the full calibration just around doing that. And I couldn't even get to everything else that day. But the next time he came in, we did that again, and it was maybe a third of the time. So, it was a big difference. He mentioned he slept through the night that night, which he hadn't done in several years. And now I just had them in last week, and he's driving now. They drove actually up to Estes Park, which is about 90 minutes from Denver. And parents have said they had never done that before without him getting really, really sick. And they always do family reunions up there. So, he's honestly a completely different kid now. And it's really cool to see because the parents are just so happy. Like for me, talking to his dad, it was kind of a dad to dad conversation because his dad really wanted to take him camping. And most of the camping here in Colorado is up in the mountains. So you've got to do some driving and some ups and downs on the roads. And he just couldn't handle it. And now I think he probably can. So for me, thinking about his dad, like, wow, like how cool is that going to be that he can go camping with his dad and spend that time there? So that was really cool. That was a really cool moment. So we had a lady come in with chronic sciatic pain, and sciatic for me, I'm like, all right, that's one that's usually pretty easy to take care of. For, usually a couple of visits, it's knocked out. For her, did a lot of shockwave with her, and really nothing touched it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, why is this not resolving? And just stood her up, did a quick assessment. Okay, we did like a, right or left posterior canal maneuver, did the translation and all that. And then she comes in the next week and she's like, I have been pain-free for an entire week. And I'm like, why did I wait 8 or 9 weeks to do this? Why did I do this at the beginning? And I think this has been the big buzzword for a while now, and the big focus of everybody is, obviously fight or flight, right? We have to get everybody out of fight or flight, and you got to stimulate the vagus nerve. You've got to do your deep breathing exercises, and you've got to do your vagus nerve stimulation, and you got to do your cold plunges, and and
Hmm.
then even other, I would say, more generic chiropractors are talking about like, okay, we've got to focus on getting out of fight or flight through adjustments. And the thing to me, I guess, that even the deeper question is, okay, well, what is keeping them in that fight or flight in the first place? Like, yeah, we can
Hmm.
continue to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system and bring it online, and for some people, that's needed. But what's the bigger reason that potentially they're held there? And again, looking at things through what's that gravity lens? Well, again, if your whole perception of your world is off, then that's going to lead you to an increased state of fight or flight. And you can do all the things in the world to try and stimulate that parasympathetic nervous system. But again, if your perception systems are off, your gravity systems are off, as you talk about the big three, your visual, vestibular, and proprioceptive systems, if that's all miscalibrated, and good luck. You're never going to get anything to change and hold unless you initially fix that system first. And that to me was another humongous eye opener. Once I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like the elephant now that you can't unsee, that you really have to take care of. Cedric, thank you. I mean, really appreciate everything that you've put together. It's been really cool to see the evolution of it. It's been really honestly, it's been such a fun ride to watch it happen from the beginning to now. Like, remember watching like the first videos and being like, I think this is what he's talking about. Like, I think this is the concept here. And like, all right, I think I'm doing it right. And like, there's all this kind of like ambiguity. And then now, I mean, you've taught it and simplified it in a way that it's so refined now. I mean, it's so easy to learn in its
Yeah.
current application. Like, it's just, you've done such a good job of like, okay, here's how I think, here's what I'm seeing, here's how you apply it, here's what this looks like. Then you can do this. Here's all the other fun add ons you can have at the end to increase and improve the results that you're getting or speed them up. But I mean, at its core, it's like, here's the flow and operating system for it. And honestly, like, I've done a lot of techniques and studied a lot of different stuff. Not everybody can do that, and not everybody can do that well. And you've really done that well with this.